Barth was the most scholarly and wide-ranging explorer of his time. He brought a classical education and a deep-rooted love of travel to his journals, but his leading prose did not appeal to the public, and a few read them. This picturesque valley of the Welad Ali was once, according to Barth, adorned with orchards and groves of date palms. The desolation portrayed here was a sign of the Sahara's increasing aridity, emphasized by the scene of hyena and jackals picking away at a dead animal. See? These are the hyenas and jackals picking away at a dead camel. Lit by eerie moonlight, the mountains of Hombori near Timbuktu soar towards like Gothic battlements in this drawing by Henrik Barth, who added a whimsical touch by placing a lone heron on the shore. For all his scientific discipline, Barth had a romantic's perception of grand landscapes. This is really nice artwork, as you can see here. Wild colocynth melons ripen on the sand in a tangle of coarse leaves. When they mature, the stems wither and the brittle gourd-like fruits break off and roll away in the wind to new resting sites. In the heat of the sun, they eventually burst open and expel their black seeds, which are ready to germinate when the rain next falls. See here? In a gravel corridor between the dunes, the shade cast by an acacia offers a rare chance of shelter for an animal too large to burrow. See? This is an acacia. An anax antelope pauses briefly during a meal of perennial grasses, from which it derives both its food and water. This rare and highly adapted desert animal seldom, if ever, drinks. It migrates long distances to find pasture, sometimes to the southern fringes of the Sahara, where this photograph was taken. This is an adax. In the apparently empty dunes, many Saharan animals are given away by their tracks. Camels, gazelles, and the stray hyena from the savannas leave clear trails as they travel alone or in small parties. More confusing is the multiplicity of tiny tracks left round tufts of grass by the jerboas, lizards, beetles, and birds, all searching for food in the cool of morning or evening. Dorcas gazelle hoof marks. Paw marks of hyena. Beetle tracks in close-up. Camel trails between hat bushes. Crossroads of desert lark and jerboa. Lizard hole by Artistia Press. A mantid nymph sits motionless on the desert floor, camouflaged among grains of sand that seem rock-sized beside it. It feeds exclusively on other insects, waiting patiently in ambush until they pass unsuspectingly within reach. Then it shoots at its forelegs and traps the prey in a vice-like grip. See? That kind of looks like a grasshopper, don't you think? Crater-like windbreak made by sand grains brought one by one to the surface from an ant's nest, coasts leaving it as its heaving shadow in the desert. That looks like the crater on the moon, right? A tireless ant emerges from the darkness of its nest hole with a grain of sand in its jaws. See? I kind of see ants do that sometimes. female wolf spider above picks her way delicately across barren ground, her abdomen covered with several layers of newly hatched spiderlings. In their first week, she carries them around for safety, taking them to shelter when necessary. If any fall off and fail to clamber back, they will be easy prey for other spiders and insects. You see, this is the wolf spider and all her babies. A beetle of the family of Chrysomelidae, right, commonly known as a bloody-nosed beetle, rears up defensively, exuding the red watery liquid after which it's named. Although this represents a water loss for the beetle, it serves its purpose well, frightening many attacking birds that are used to clear blood of most insects. See? Ew. I want to go near him. Ooh, see that horned viper, which we've seen before, camouflaged in the sand? Wound up and ready to spring and spray, a horned viper prepares for ambush by vibrating small projections on its body to work sand over it. The short, slow legs of a spiny-tailed lizard come down to live close to its burrow. See? North hackles extended, a lone raving sends its searching call echoing through the Tassali Mountains. Perhaps a protective mate will reply. Alighting on a sand-laden bush, a morning white-ear waits expectantly for a meal.